Thank you for tuning in to Hacks and Hobbies with your host, Junaid. In Season 2 of Hacks and Hobbies, we're visited by our amazing guests coming from all walks of life. We want to learn their story, their struggles, and their journey on how they got to where they are today. So stick around. In this episode, I get to speak with Joseph Malinski.
What's going on?
Hey, Joseph. So Joseph is a director, a production coordinator. He's a director. And how I met him was through my good friend, who's also an actor. She got to be in this music video, 80s music video. And she did this amazing part in it. But I was like, who produced this video? This is so cool. This is so awesome. Let me reach out to ATB Productions. And Joey reached back, and he's like, awesome, I'd love to talk and come in and do the interview. And here we are. And thank you so much, Joseph, for coming on to the podcast for the interview.
Yeah, thank you for asking me. I appreciate it. Really. It's nice. It's cool.
Fantastic.
Cool to talk about what I do. So I'm excited.
Yeah, dude. So one of my passions is video production as well. And I was like, I need to speak with more producers. I need to speak with more directors who are into film and who are doing these amazing things that I want to do too.
Mm-hmm.
And I have been doing these on and off. I just wanted to get it more consistent, and more or less we have been getting there slowly. We've finally formed a little partnership between myself and two other amazing producers and creatives to.
That's awesome.
Create some. Yeah. So super excited, and it always helps when you have other people working with you, right? I mean, you can't run it alone.
No, this is obviously a participation sport. Filmmaking, video making is a group of people, no matter how you slice it. Because there's so many departments and so many roles that are very specific and takes masters at in order to get correct. That there is a crew is important for success.
Absolutely, and just like in business, just like in life, you got to have a team to get from point A to point B. You can take a unicycle and go somewhere, but it's not going to get you too far.
Yeah, you could be really badass at the unicycle, though.
Yes, that's true. So, Joey, it says Joey on your site, so I'm going to...
Yeah, Joey's good.
Go between the two. All right, so Joey, tell me a version of your journey that no one's heard of before. How did you get to where you are today? Where did you get started?
I've always wanted to tell stories. I always wanted to share what my view on the world is through what I've been taught by the world. And I also like just being stupid, like just acting fun and acting like this is the world we were put in. It's crazy, but let's make the most of it. So it's kind of tying those type of traits together in a filmmaking process. So I've always been telling stories. Either you're telling it with your friends, or you're telling it with your family, So art, obviously art is something cool to create in life. People either you want to be a sport, like sports, art, music are kind of like the top for me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Wasn't good enough to play sports. So you just mix in this world of where it is at. And I thought filmmaking was the greatest form of art because it's captured everything. You could illustrate, you could sound, it's acting, it's emotion, it's music, it's everything all in one. So I thought that was the peak of the peak.
No,
I think I further changed that to I was still in film, but I think video games has the potential to be more immersive in that land and to give a further reason of art. But I do think I grew up on film, so this is where I want to be.
Yeah, man, and video games are changing in one way or the other too, because of how many different formats they can take. They could be on your phone, they could be on a big TV, or you could be immersed in it through virtual reality. So
it's like, and I think that's the future, right? I mean, that's where we're going. So it's like, I agree, so it's cool. And I think filmmaking is trying to go there, and we're, you know, we have barriers because of real time, but it's cool.
I think there was one movie that was shot for virtual reality with Robert Rodriguez and Michelle Rodriguez. They did this short film.
Oh, interesting.
It was really interesting to watch it because the lens that they used had almost a fisheye effect. Mm-hmm. So when they're shooting, they're like right in the actor's face, and you have the ability to look right and left, so you can basically get an idea of which environment you're in. It's really neat how they shot it.
That's super cool. I would definitely check that out.
Yeah,
I do want to give a plug for that music video though that we started off with.
Absolutely, man.
Disco Fries, Family Affair. Go check it out. It's doing well. So we're happy.
So
it's a good song. It's Mary J. Blige mixed up into this, like, you know, dance music. It's pretty fun.
Nice. So I'll definitely be dropping the link to that music video. It's on YouTube and LinkedIn. YouTube and Instagram. Or is it
I would go to YouTube. I mean, YouTube, Facebook, you know, anything, because it's probably on Instagram as well too.
Yeah, I think the Instagram has a little bit of it. But yeah, we'll drop the link to the actual music video on the podcast show notes so people can go enjoy this amazing creation you've created, man. This is really cool.
Appreciate that.
All right, so I'm looking at your LinkedIn profile, and I think you've got the Disco Prizes out over here as well.
Well, what happens is because LinkedIn's funny to me, because LinkedIn is a land of like business, and we're in social media. But are we really in social media, or are we now just acting like a different part of us is in this? So I like to use LinkedIn wrong on purpose because I think it's funny. And like we're all living in this same. Once again, we're all living in this crazy world.
We're all living in the same world, exactly. And actually, LinkedIn has gotten much more open to being social. A lot of people that I've connected with in the past year and a half have come through LinkedIn, and these are people that are posting videos on LinkedIn. They're posting what they're doing.
It's
really, really interesting. It's changed how LinkedIn is perceived.
Because what happens is Facebook's dead, and they don't let us see what we want to see ourselves. So we have to find another source. Whether or not LinkedIn's it, I don't think so, but I do think it has potential for growth and a good growth in business, because it is kind of fun. It's just like, oh, here's my intelligent friends. You know what I'm saying? We all have groups. You know what I'm saying?
That's a really interesting way to put it. Nice. All right. So we talked about, you know, your little journey and how you wanted to tell the story, tell the story back into what you were showing it. But what really inspired you to become a director? Because seeing you've been in a lot of different area in the arts. So how did
video, once again, I grew up with me and my best friend would work together on all this stuff. And then he got a job in New York. I was living in California at the time. He got me on the sets where I got to work on production sets as a PA all the way, you know, for years, and watching these big, huge productions grow and seeing, you know, what took to make a multi-million-dollar commercial, and got to be a director's assistant. So I got to see the writing process and how the ideas were created in order to get sold to the agencies. And then the post-production, I kind of just been grinding on self-taught in that area. But I've had, I've had professional jobs in that area as well. But it's what I pride myself on. But it doesn't. I don't know if it's necessarily in the ring of, you know, going down the line of professionalism. But.
No.
So then I moved to Baltimore. Well, at one point I was working in New York, and I kind of got to a level where I had to make a choice. I knew I didn't want to go in the Directors Guild. Because a lot of days, and I didn't want to be an AD. At the end, that's not my best talent. Like, I respect the AD, the assistant director on this film set, a tremendous amount. I think they're one of the reason why we flow so fast. But that wasn't my end goal. So I came home to Maryland and got a cool job at an agency as a creative director, and got to see how Maryland's market works. And I've always wanted to, you know, if I wasn't going to live in New York or California, my wife's from California. I was going to be living in my hometown and, you know, making cool products and projects and raising a family and having an awesome life.
That's really that's the dream, right? That's
yeah,
the
I mean,
dream.
yeah, basically live the yeah. Well, we have a tough situation because Baltimore is a tough city, but we are. It's something I think worth fighting for. So
Yeah, no, there's a lot of good stuff coming out of Baltimore. Absolutely, there's a lot of good stuff coming out of all parts of the world right now. It's pretty, especially with the type of technology that's available to everybody right now. With the iPhones and being able to shoot four shots at the same time on your new iPhone, or being able to shoot a whole movie on the
you
iPhone,
could do it.
right?
I mean, as a kid growing up, like that wasn't really a actual. I always knew I wanted to make movies, but like when I thought about movies growing up, it was always like this big, huge, impossible amount of people and cost.
Exactly.
So like I kind of like I remember when the mumblecore movement started coming out and like to do it on your weekends kind of deal. I love that style, and that was like that opened up. We can make these videos on these cameras now, and these they look as good, and we just got to be smart with it, and all that stuff. And that's continued to progress to where now, you can shoot it on the phone. I wouldn't because it's harder.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you buy add $600 more and you got you could actually make a movie,
Exactly. You've got to have the right lighting. You got to have the right conditions too, to be able to get that correct. Yeah.
And I like how everybody's like, oh, I have a nephew that could do that. Like, in terms of the business world, it's like, their nephew does have an iPhone. He is younger. I don't know if he's professionally equipped to shoot this video, but let's give it. Let him give it a go.
That's so funny. A lot of times, people don't realize it's not that somebody can do it. It's that somebody needs to have the experience of what it takes to do it. All the different steps that go into it. You can't just get up and start with a camera.
Yeah. I mean, I think I kind of disagree. I think you can just get up and start with a camera, but it takes that drive to do it. And like, to me, it's all about measurements of what you like as success. Because if your concentration is story and your tool is camera, then if you got a good story and the camera was okay, you still went forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool, man. So I'm going into circles, but I think it's really good place because the more I talk about it, the more I realize how much I don't know about video production. But I am taking lessons and I'm learning more from experimenting, and I've had the opportunity to work on big sets, not as much as I want to, but it's an eye opener because it literally takes a village. Those names at the end of each movie and TV show, those are real people.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I always I'm a little bit biased, but I always thought film production at the highest level is one of the most masterful things. Like like I said, it is all like these people that are very, very specialized and very, 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 very good at their job that can do these amazing things super quickly and super efficiently and super amazing. Like it's not an easy. None of this stuff's easy. That's why when people like critics dog on the movie, there's sometimes I watch a movie and I'm like, man, this is just like a feat of production that it is very impressive.
Yeah.
Stories is always, that's a writer problem. Like, you can't blame the AD because the thing didn't make any sense. Like,
yep, that's what they want the story to be. And you can't blame the art director or the it's crazy.
Yeah, that's why I always kind of like I don't know if I'm a great at any of those individual positions other than the fact that I want to like deep down tell a real story that matters. So like that's the ultimate drive, and if there's a way of making that happen in different roles, then that's the way it's going to happen.
Yeah, that's really cool, man. So how big is your team, and how often are you guys out there doing projects?
Our team is 3 people full time, and then like 20 people freelance. Because like obviously like sometimes we run it a 20-person production team.
Yeah,
and sometimes we run it a 2-person. Well, no, never 2, but 3-person production team. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it varies between, you know, on the what is the ask from the client,
Hmm.
but as terms of full time, like sitting in the shop for people.
Nice. So, when you guys worked on, tell me a little bit about the process of you working on the disco fries.
That came through like a creative place, like like a idea place, and they were looking for. I never usually take those kind of things because it's kind of a crapshoot, but
Yeah.
it was the only one I've ever seen that was Maryland, Delaware, or like New Jersey as a location for shoot. Usually it's New York, LA, Miami, or whatever. So I was
Yeah.
like, oh, you know, I want to try like, you know, do this. And then I like the song and I like the concept of these two photographers that, you know, Photoshop their heads on people's faces that they take with them. You know, I mean, obviously I'm not gonna. I mean, that was the concept. So you should watch the video. But like,
Yeah, I've seen the video.
I didn't mean to spoil
So
it there. But I mean, I like that original. The concept of that's funny, you know what I'm saying?
hmm
And it allows for, you know, the budget was super tight, but it's something that when it's creative, you can get people behind it because it's cool.
No, you're absolutely right. And getting those quirky ideas out in the open is what I mean. That's what
Yeah, I'm in the
that's
video myself, like my daughter's in it. Like it's what I live for. It's literally what I live for, you know? Like that will
that's
give me enough joy to be like, yeah, I'm living my
yeah.
life, you know? So
No, that's
if I'm
that's
sad
that's
and
really
depressed, 6 months later, I'll turn it on and then become a little bit more happy, but then immediately sad and depressed.
Oh man, that's too funny. That's too funny. And I've been on the other side of the camera too, and you know, I've had the opportunity to play in some roles in a commercial,
Mm-hmm.
and the most
Yeah,
funnest.
you're very castable. I could cast you.
Oh, thanks, man.
I could have cast you in tons of stuff. There was one time when I could have casted you like 7 times by now.
Wow, that's awesome. That's good to hear. I
All in the same role. You would have been a tech guy. You would have had a
yeah.
business suit. You would have had a phone. You would have been walking by a glass window. It would have been very similar version if you can play that character.
I've done the walking by in the glass window a
Yeah.
couple of times.
I might put you in the back of a cab. You don't know
Right.
what your role's gonna.
And then so I was on backstage and I saw this role for Law and Order
Mm-hmm.
in New York. I was like, whoa, I want to do this. So they were looking for Middle Eastern looking guys, right? I was like, all right, I'm Middle Eastern looking. I grew up in Middle East.
Yep.
And they were like, all right, you're in. I'm like, okay, what do I got to do? She's like, well, you got to be New York native. I'm like, oh, I'm not going to tell them that I'm not New York native.
Yeah,
So
just go up there. Yeah.
I drove up there and I was on set for NBC's FBI for, you know, the season 2, episode 1, their premiere shot and called Little Egypt, what just came out a couple of days ago. And it's like, yeah, you're going to be extra in this Little Egypt town.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be an extra standing around over here. So I had taken my traditional garb, you know, from head to toe. It's like long thing. They're like, wear that thing. Nobody else was wearing that. I'm wearing this thing.
No way.
Yeah.
Dude, that was on you though. A little bit on you.
It was hilarious though. It was hilarious because I'm just a bystander, right? So
yeah.
when the episode came out, first so 2 minutes, I see myself walking with this buddy of mine.
Yeah, of course. If I have that in the
like,
edit, if I'm the editor, I'm like, wait a minute, we got a guy in that. Yeah, let's use that. Let's open with that. Let's pull that through.
Yeah. So I was like, you know, just excited to see myself like for like a minute, like 30 seconds, like there I am walking. My wife's like, there you are. He's famous.
Oh yeah. I don't know why that thrill is so thrilling, but it is right? Thrilling. Yeah.
And then so that was a pretty fun experience. And I'm trying to break into that area, but a lot of these roles in backstage, it's not looking for me. I mean, especially in this area anyways. I'm
me
sure
neither, to be honest with you. Like, it's very limited in the roles. I've been on backstage for the last 2 years, and there's not. I rarely see a role that is worth even applying for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, it's hard.
Exactly.
It's hard. I when I do see them, I'm happy, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know where. That's what I'm saying. I don't know that. That's one thing going from New York to Baltimore. Like, there's some like things that I assumed were kind of not everywhere, but enough everywhere.
Yeah.
And there's some just networking that's just not available in this area.
It's not.
I think DC's growing a bigger pipeline though myself. It seems like they are.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I'm trying to get connected with more producers and directors who are working on this kind of stuff to be like, hey, I'm here. And last 6 months ago, my good friend Ron Newcomb,
Hmm.
he put together this event called VIP TV and Film Summit by the Dulles Airport. And there was a lot of people coming out there attending this event, even though,
Hmm.
and they're like, we are living in the richest counties in the United States.
Oh yeah,
We
exactly.
should have a ton of video work. So
We have decent amount of video work, just not entertainment.
yeah, lots of commercials, right? That's what I hear.
Well, commercials are decent, and I mean,
Okay.
there's a decent amount of money because like yeah, like you said, it's like that whole area is a lot of money flows through there.
Yeah.
It was sad that we lost Discovery Channel to New York, but we used to
Yeah.
have Discovery Channel down here as well.
Yeah, I remember. My good friend used to work there. He was an editor at
Mhm.
Discovery Channel for a while. An editor and a videographer. I think he moved back to Boulder
Mhm.
after he heard that they're going to move back. Cool,
Yeah,
man.
cool.
This was awesome. All right, so now I've got some questions that I asked my guests.
Awesome. Let's do it.
What is one hobby that you wish you got into? And it looks like you got into all of them.
No, sports announcing. I would always love to do
Oh,
sports announcing. That
that
was
would
like
be
my first
interesting.
dream, like just because I can't read out loud very well, and there's a lot of that in a job. But I love sports, and I think it's because it's like in the moment storytelling. It's like,
It is.
and
It's
it's sports is so
absolutely.
dramatic to me that I think it's like the only drama that like excites me still.
Hmm. No, you're right. It is a very specific talent. All right. What was your favorite movie or TV show?
I would say TV show, the baseline of Simpsons, but in
Hmm.
living color for Sketch, and then
Okay.
movies like the one that snapped me into it was Snatch.
Snatch. Oh my God, that was so good.
Yeah.
So good.
Because I was like, oh man, this is like, because I wasn't necessarily going the filmmaker route at that point.
Uh-huh.
I was just wanted to tell stories and be stupid. But
Yeah.
then when I seen like the visual, like he was so aggressive visually, a music video style, like
Yeah.
that, I was like, oh, there it is. That's what I want to
Yeah. No, and the way Brad Pitt talks in that movie
do. Yeah. So good.
made you watch that movie like 2, 3, 4 times. Like, wait, what was he saying again?
Yeah, I used to play it when I went to bed. So it's like yeah, that one's a good one. I love that movie.
Nice. I need to go watch it again. All
Yeah,
right.
that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna watch it again now. I could go for another run.
Nice. All right. So, what movie would you choose if you got to play a character in it?
Ooh.
Would you be Brad Pitt instead?
No, I don't know who I'd be. That's a good question. Somebody else's role. Definitely. I mean, I like Bill. Bill Murray seems to have a fun time
Oh my
because he
God.
doesn't have to. He can do a lot of. So like he can go as crazy as What About Bob, but I wouldn't want to go that much energy.
Yeah.
But I like that. That's. I don't know.
He did a really good
I
part in
mean, like you got. Oh,
Zombieland.
Zombieland's good too.
You're
But he
like,
can also
why'd you
do like.
kill him? You killed
Yeah.
Bob Murray.
Oh yeah, exactly. And then Lost in Translation, and then he's got so many good ones. But
He's got some guys.
yeah, I would. I don't know. That's a good one. I don't
All
have
right.
an answer. I would do a Bill Murray role probably.
Bill Murray role in Groundhog Day.
I mean that. Oh, there it is, dude. I
There
would
it is.
love it. The
That's the
Groundhog
one,
Day is
right?
amazing. There it is. That's so fun. And
Perfect.
you get a little romance in there too. That's a good one.
Yeah, exactly. And so when I watched the movie, I saw it a long time ago, but then I was like, all right, I need to see it again because I don't remember it. So I watched it again, and then I was like, all right. Throughout the movie, he's learning all these things. And then I was like, I need to find out, like, how many years did he live in that same day, right?
Did you figure it out? Oh, we
It
don't
was
even know.
8 years, 9 months, and like 24 days or something. I was like, holy smokes, he lived in the same day for 8.5
Yeah.
years.
That's crazy.
Insane. All right. Who is your favorite superhero?
I'm not a big superhero guy. I would go probably Michelangelo from Ninja Turtles.
Nice.
I'm gonna consider him a superhero.
He is a superhero.
We don't want him to be the leader though. He would need some other superheroes around him.
Yeah. Apparently
If he's the only choice I got, if I do get one of them, then it can't be him. But unless we're gonna hang out and like watch this thing burn.
It's so there's actually an animation Ninja Turtle versus Batman.
Oh yeah, wow.
Have you seen it?
No.
It's so good. My son watched it and he was like, "Oh my god, it's the best movie ever."
Are they doing it like dark, or they did it like
it's pretty dark? It's a mix between the fun, because they got to bring in the dark from Batman and the fun from Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, Ninja Turtles. Yeah, that makes sense. I learned the other day that there was a female Ninja Turtle live action remake that I'd never heard about ever. So
interesting. Would be an interesting watch for sure.
Yeah, it was nuts.
All right, last question. If you were a board game, what would it be?
I gotta go Monopoly, just for the family problems. Like, to me, it's like it's the Married with Children of video games. Like, we're gonna fight. Is this table getting flipped? I can't count well. Now I have too much money. There's too many pieces of this game.
Yeah.
What is a thimble?
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's what Monopoly, definitely.
Nice. I like it. Cool, man. So where can my audience find you?
I would say Instagram is probably the best bet.
Okay. ATB Productions.
Yeah. And then YouTube as well. ATB. I don't even know. What is it? ATB?
Well, we'll plug in all of the different links, all of the different links that link you, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and then definitely the link to the Disco Fries music video, which was hilarious, just hilarious concept putting together. And my friend who got to play the part was she was like, I got to dress up like a little disco girl. And I actually just met her on set the first time 2 months ago. We did this scene for a film.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
She did good. It was cool because she did good like hand poses that allow me to give nice sweeping motion. So it was cool.
Yeah. Dude, we'll have to reconnect and talk more about gear and how you get out there. There's some questions I have about video production that we're constantly struggling with and trying to figure out, and it would be real cool to collaborate and work on some of these things together.
Yeah, send some questions my way.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much for your time.
All right, Joey. Appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Have a good day. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this episode on Hacks and Hobbies. We absolutely appreciate your contribution. You can find additional notes on hacksandhobbies.com. Please share the podcast with your friends and tell them what you learned about our guest today.